Does
Welcome
this
to our
mean I have to
first
be appropriate?
podcast. We are the Wired Sisters, which is a pun on the Weird Sisters because we are always wired. And as Jennifer has
Weird.
pointed out, when I came up with it, we are on the wire.
Yeah.
And we have found a reason why Jennifer needs to have a full-size Draco Malfoy in the background. See?
Because this room is ugly. And it needs
No,
some
because you
Draco.
have an empty space. Or go.
Yeah,
You need
okay,
a
yeah.
Draco. See, there's your excuse to buy it.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. Definitely gonna buy
You
it.
so need it. You need it to live. I mean, I just need to clean up my sofa, but but there is a Harry Potter blanket beneath the pillows. I swear to God. I'll just worst Harry Potter podcaster ever with a Monsters Inc. cabinet in the background.
Yeah, we're just gonna ignore that.
We're ignoring it.
Yeah.
I mean, there is broom there.
But we can't see it. But I'm gonna
But
take
it
your
is
word for
there.
it.
It is there.
Yeah. At least I'm wearing like the props here. Oh yes, you're wearing it too. That's very nice.
And for today's team, I am wearing Weasley's Wizard Weezes. And
Ooh.
I got my rubber duck.
Oh my god, do not provoke me. Do not provoke me, woman.
I am now launching you into the rant. Go!
The thing is, so as you might know, I do genuinely hate Arthur Weasley. And I did write down all the things I hate about him.
Yeah, you had,
Unfortunately for me, I did leave that paper in the living room with Andreas. So I am going to do my best to remember it because I wrote it down in like 10 minutes in pure rage. My hands still hurt from rage writing.
That was less than 10 minutes, by the way. It was like literally 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was over 1 page of hatred towards Arthur Weasley.
I have a picture. You have a picture because he sent me a picture.
Yeah.
There is a picture. I shall leave it in the description box below.
Yeah. So yeah, should I just start with
You should just go for it.
I should just go for it. The thing is, first of all, I do want to mention that yes, Arthur Weasley is a lovely, kind father. He's a loving father.
Dad.
He's a good dad. I'm gonna give him that.
We're not talking about his dad skills or his he's a decent human being. We're not talking about that.
No, exactly. We're talking about his competence. Yes. The rubber duck was on my list, but I'm just gonna leave it at what's the use of a rubber duck, because it triggers me too much to talk about
Basically,
it. And
the use of the rubber duck is to hold it up so you can rant about Arthur Weasley.
Yes, but also it's only in the movies. It's not in
No,
the
I
books.
can't remember anything about a rubber duck in the books.
Exactly, and I do believe that they added like lines to Arthur Weasley just to make him like a comic relief, just like they did to Ron.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna mention the rubber duck.
Okay, but
he's off the hook for the rubber duck.
To be completely fair, I mean, the Stitches thing in the books is also like facepalm.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it is the same level of the rubber duck, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so the headline of my paper that I have now left in the living room is why Arthur Weasley is a moron. So
you know, I can just press stop so you can get the paper and you can just come back and then I can re-record.
Yeah, okay, sure. I'll do that. I will run. Okay.
I shall pause the recording. Now it's recording. We're back!
Because I'm a witch, I magically Acio'd my piece of paper. And as you can see, it's quite, I didn't have time to finish it, but it's a start.
I shall now not share this in the description because there it is.
Yes. Okay, so we all know that Arthur Weasley, he loves muggles. Like it's his entire personality. He has the garage, it's full of like plugs and different kinds of like muggle equipment that he does things with,
And
right?
he's proud about it. He's even going off to the Dursleys like, I collect books. Mom. I
Yes,
think I'm insane, but there you go.
yes, it's his entire personality. It's his hobby, and that is very, very nice for him. But would not one who has it, like a hobby like his entire life be able to know something about it? Like, should he not
Yeah,
know like the basic stuff? Like, he should be able to at least know it's called electricity or
and not ecology.
telephones or like, the basic stuff.
Like how to light a match.
Yes. And yes, he is a pure blood. He's been raised in this wizard life. But unlike Muggleborns, who are like, well, they don't know about magic until they're 11, right?
Yeah.
They don't have the possibility. He has the possibility. His entire life, he has the possibility to learn about Muggle stuff, especially since he's so interested in it.
Yes, and the thing is, he went to Hogwarts.
Yes.
There were half-bloods with one Muggle parent and
Yes.
Muggleborns. If he's
Yes.
so hype about it, why did he not ask them questions and learn about the human library?
Exactly.
I
And
mean, I
also,
obviously I don't know anything about small English villages not living in England, but I mean, my town is not exactly known for its immense size. I mean, it's more like a conglomeration of like 5 or 6 small towns grouped together, but it has a library. I'm just saying. I used to live in a small town, an actual small town, and had a library. So I'm just saying. I mean,
right, right. And speaking of Hogwarts, since he's working as what is it called, misuse of Muggle
artifacts.
artifacts. Yes, he works like in a with Muggle stuff, right?
Yeah,
So to get that job, I'm assuming he had to have some kind of like Muggle studies education, right?
you
We're just
think so?
assuming, but probably. So he probably took Muggle studies at Hogwarts for
Yeah.
like 5 years. What do they teach at Hogwarts?
Well, to be honest, I mean, at one point we do get a scene in Prisoner of Azkaban. Well, in the book where Hermione is trying to figure out like this weird ass thing in Muggle studies, and I was reading it, I was like, this doesn't seem correct. And Ron is like, why are you even taking Muggle studies? And she's like, oh, I like to see the wizard's perspective, which does
Mm,
insinuate that wizards have no clue.
yes, that's
Which
true.
which also makes me think you have that many half-bloods and Muggleborns. So why is your curriculum still weird? Are they like generally speaking all having a bit of a giggle at this?
Yeah, that's a really good point. And also, like, how can there be no one who is more qualified for this job that Arthur Weasley is doing at the ministry than fucking Arthur Weasley? Like, there are so many Muggleborns or Half-Bloods, and how can there be no one else than Arthur Weasley?
Well, wasn't it like kind of it isn't like just not a step up from like being sent to what was it, the Centaur office? Because if you get sent to the Centaur office, you get sacked. It's in Fantastic Beasts somewhere to find them. Um, but I thought that like the Muggle office is just like one step above that.
Oh, okay. So no one
So
wants the
basically,
job.
the most incompetent people in the ministry are shoved in the Muggle office. So it's him and what's his colleague's name? I can't even remember.
Oh, I can't
Perkins? I
remember.
think called Perkins, the one who
Perkins, yes.
Perkins who lent him the tents to camp in.
Yes. Okay. So,
And
okay. So that's
also,
the
like,
reason.
Perkins is like of the same level. Like, oh, he can't camp much because he's old and blah blah. And I'm like, you're camping in a fucking flat, man. You've got everything you need inside the flat. How can you not camp? I mean, how hard is it to pitch a damn tent? Even I can do it. I mean, like a basic tent, like what he had. I
Yeah.
can pitch a basic tent.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science,
So they're both morons, is what you're saying.
pretty much.
So is that a requirement to work at that department of the ministry that you have to be somehow like a little bit slow.
I don't know. I think it's also that the Ministry doesn't really terribly care about the Muggles, and they
True,
just
true.
want two doofuses to sit in the office and deal with things as they happen. Because it
Yeah,
seems to me that most of the time they just go and obliviators and whatnot have to come in anyway.
yeah,
So it's kind of like the people you send in to see if you actually have to send in the competent people, the people who then summon the competent people as they see fit.
yeah. They just want them out of the way to do like the simplest
I mean,
tasks
it's
so that
just
the
like to
competent
save
people
time
can
for the
come.
obliviators and assortment, obliviators and aurors, I suspect.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what that's what I'm assuming. I don't even know. I do not read Pottermore, so my inner workings of the Ministry outside of the books knowledge is like a zilch.
yeah, same,
Unless
same.
it has been on the Carlin brothers in a quiz and I like went into my brain desk. But
Same. I feel like I don't have like all the information, but I'm still here raging about it.
okay, but I can imagine that if you do not like incompetence and you're like reading the books, you're just like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm.
also, wasn't there like a thing with a lawnmower at some point? So, I mean, he knows what a lawnmower is and what it's supposed to do because he can assess that it's not doing what it's supposed to do. But he
Yeah.
doesn't know what electricity is properly called. He doesn't seem to know what plugs are for. But he does know how to repair a car.
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause
exactly. He has the car and he's transformed it into a flying car. So he
But
has,
it actually drives as well. He
yeah,
basically got like an old rundown car and completely repaired it himself. So did he use magic to repair it? Which is entirely possible, of course, or did he went about it the Muggle way? I'm assuming he went and restored it magically.
yeah,
I mean,
probably.
heck, if I had magic, I'd restore a car magically. Why would I like dirty my hands for Pete's sake if I don't have to?
Yeah. But it
I mean,
says
I
in,
don't mind being covered in grease and whatnot if I'm working on something, but if I don't have to be,
yeah. Well, I'm assuming he repairs it with magic
yeah.
because he doesn't seem to have any like basic knowledge of anything. So I'm just gonna assume. But it does say in Chamber of Secrets that he spent like a lot of time talking to Harry about like Muggle stuff, like
Yeah,
electricity and stuff. How can that be his first like encounter with someone who is Muggle born or like raised? Because Harry is 12. Like I'm gonna assume he doesn't know everything about like Muggle stuff. He
yeah,
doesn't know how to repair a car. He doesn't know like the
yeah,
basic
yeah.
workings of electricity, probably more than light.
Yeah, he might have learned like the basic in school.
But like there should be anyone at the ministry that Arthur Weasley could have had these discussions with.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's also insinuated in the books quite often, and Molly states it as well as the children, that because of the Weasleys' view, remember how the Potters basically are not part of what the sacred, what is it, 17 of the pureblood houses because of their
28, I believe. Yeah.
yeah, because their views on like being a pureblood, the Weasleys are basically like on the border of just getting ousted from that
Mm,
list as
yeah.
well. So he's not actually popular, and I'm thinking that aside from like a few people that are clearly not purebloods, and purebloods do run the ministry. I mean, I don't think there's like a lot of people who even want to talk to him just because of his views on being a pureblood.
True, but he doesn't want to talk to a pureblood. He wants to talk to one of those nerdy Muggleborns who's like the same as
Basically,
him.
he's like every other nerd.
Exactly. So he should be able to find a nerdy Muggleborn or half-blood that wants to talk to him. I mean, there's got to be a lot of people working at the ministry.
But I mean, what about the Hogwarts Muggle? What is it, Muggle studies teacher? I mean, like,
Yes, we can
why
just
not
call her.
send her an owl? Maybe
Yeah,
she's just like banned him already. She's like, no, no more owls from Arthur Weasley. Enough's enough.
there's a possibility. Yes, because he asked too
Enough
much
is
about
enough.
Dumbledore.
I cannot deal with this. But he's clearly not banned from Hogwarts because he's able to access the school. He's in the school
Hmm.
several times. But the thing is with like Molly as well, at one point when they're in the car going to London and the car is like big inside, it's like proper augmented. And she's like, oh, these muggles are so inventive. And they're driving. And I'm like, I
She's
mean,
never been in a
if
proper
you look
car.
at a car from outside, it should be basic knowledge that said
Yeah.
car does not fit this many people.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
it's
really, yeah, it's
basic.
unbelievable.
It's basic knowledge. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. Like I can get that wizard families like the Malfoys, love you, Lucius, that they might not like go out in the Muggle public or explore Muggle stuff, but a normal wizard family, I mean, they can't only be like living and moving around in all wizard villages, right? They
I mean,
have to
I
be
no, because
encountering
there's only
some.
one. Only Hogsmeade is an all wizards.
True, true. And Godric's Hollow, maybe?
No, it's mixed as
No?
well.
Okay.
Only Hogs. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's only Hogsmeade. But the other thing with the stamps, remember the thing with the stamps? The infamous stamped envelope.
Oh yeah.
The thing is that she's like, oh, I hope I put on enough stamps, but she had to go into the village to buy
Yeah.
these stamps.
Yeah.
Why don't you just go to the post office? And this is not something that they don't hear, because it happens a lot, especially in the time of the internet. You just go like, okay, I haven't sent a physical letter in forever. How many stamps do I need to send
Yeah.
this letter to this part of the country, to this address? And they'll be like, oh, you need the one stamp or the two stamps or whatever, and they will sell you the stamp you need. So I don't really understand how she came to this, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
To
really
be
don't
fair,
get it. I'm just like, I can see Luna Lovegood do something like that, going like, oh, but more is better, like, and then I just like smack it all of stamps because it's funny and it's. I mean, she knows she shouldn't, but she's probably super entertained, I can see her do it for entertainment value, just for shits and giggles, full well
probably.
knowing that this is not the way to go about it. But I'm just like, I don't understand. I mean, the same with Ron. His dad is like, oh, this is how you should use the phone. And then he starts shouting in the phone. I'm like, oh, I mean,
Yeah. It's yeah. I mean, there are
why
plot
did you
holes.
not check with Hermione first to double? I mean, like, why did you not double check?
Yeah. True. To be fair to Molly, though, I'm assuming it was Molly who sent the
Yeah,
envelope.
I love Molly, but I think Molly's an amazing person. I mean, she's brilliant, but I was like, why
Yes,
did you not just ask at the post office?
she could have asked, but I mean, I had to call our post office several times to be able to send a letter because I didn't know how to do it.
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, if I have to send something, I have to go to the like packages. I have to go to the post office and be like, even some kinds of envelopes of which I'm not entirely sure, because I have scales. But if it's like super borderline, that they're not the post office scales; they're just like house scales. I have to go in and say like, can you check this? And do I have to put on more stamps, or is it fine this way? This sort of thing happens all the time. They're not gonna be like, they're not gonna shut. I mean, like, if they're assholes, obviously they will. But regular post office employees will be perfectly happy to help you because it's their job, and they'll just
Yeah,
be like, "Oh yeah, no, it's fine," or "No, you need to add more stamps," or whatever.
yeah. She should have asked.
She should have just
She
gone to
should
the
have
post
asked.
office and asked. I don't even know where she got the stamps. I'm guessing not the post office. Because in the UK you can get them in newspaper outlets and whatnot as well. So I'm guessing not the post office.
True. Um. Yeah, I
But
just
yeah,
went
even
in.
if we go abroad, we don't know what stamps to use if we want to send postcards. We have to go and like be like, okay, we want to send these postcards to these and these countries. Which stamps do we need?
Yeah,
It's not lack of intelligence to have to ask in the post office what stamp you need.
No, I feel like there's a lot of things that the Weasley family could have easily learned if they just had
Asked.
the interest, if they just asked, or if they had like the interest in actually knowing. Like Arthur Weasley says he has interest in a lot of things, but does he really?
Oh, can you just imagine Hermione sorting out the Wi-Fi for the Burrow, and the poor technician showing up, seeing the Burrow, having to work with that hot mess? I mean, no shade to the Burrow. I love the Burrow. If I were like a millionaire, like a proper millionaire, I would build the Burrow. I mean, the Burrow is super cool, but can you just imagine it happen?
Yes.
I mean, I can see this. I can actually see this happen. I mean, like, and
Yeah.
Arthur being like, the internet. Computer explodes.
Yes. I mean, to be fair, like this was set in the late 90s, mid late
Mhm.
90s, right? So no internet
Yeah.
available to like
Except
the
the
mass
library.
to the library, yes. But he says in, is it not Order of the Phoenix? It's one of the later books that like his life dream is to know how a plane flies,
Yeah, yeah,
how
yeah, yeah,
planes
yeah.
work.
Go to dang library.
This is the 90s. Planes have been able to fly for a long time. Like it's in some book. I'm sure it's in a book somewhere.
I'm pretty sure he would cry happy tears when one of the Muggle boards or the Half Bloods or whatever finally parks him in front of a documentary.
But it's like it's so dumb. I can't even like I'm frustrated. It's like me saying that my life dream is to know how to put the TV on. Like I'm sure there's someone who can teach me.
I mean, how the TV works, and the inner workings of the television.
Yes, I mean the information is
Pretty sure
available.
there's a documentary. Pretty sure it's on YouTube.
Yes,
Everything's on YouTube these days. I'm a big fan of the YouTube Academy.
of the YouTube.
Academy? I
Yeah,
mean,
so if
like,
you really
how do
want
you
to
think
know,
people learn things these days? All the tutorials on the tube.
like everything is available on YouTube. Everything.
Arthur Weasley. Why?
Why? That is the yeah.
At
After
least
we
he's a
see
better.
why.
He's at least a better parent than many of the wizarding parents.
If you say Malfoys,
I
I
was
am
gonna
leaving this
say
podcast.
Malfoys. I mean, like they're. I mean, the Weasleys are not hysterical like Seamus Finnegan's mother seems to be.
True, true.
I mean, she seems to have fits of hysterics about everything.
I
So
am quite sad though, just talking about the Malfoy family, because obviously in the book they are considered like a loving family. His Draco's mom sends him treats to school, and like his father seems to like genuinely be nice to him. But then in the movies, they're just. I mean, Narcissa is fine, I guess, but
yeah,
Lucius,
Narcissa's just like I think she's just like a regular mum.
yeah. But why did they have to make him mean? I don't get it.
I don't know. Wait a second. Wait a second. Sound. Look what my friend Valentine sent me in the mail. Look how cool! It's a Malfoy family
Oh
Christmas.
my god! Oh, I want one of those too. That's amazing.
I will tell you where you can find her.
Yeah, please do.
I was
I
like
need to go on my
interjecting.
walk.
I mean, but this is like the Malfoy family Christmas book-wise. You have Narcissa, and she's decorating the tree, and Lucius is enjoying a glass of wine, and then you have Draco being a dick to Dobby. I feel like this is prime book Malfoys, my man.
Oh my god, Dobby. Dobby and Lucy's Malfoy has forever been ruined by me from my reels. I will never be able to look at their relationship the same again. And it's entirely my fault.
You've brought it upon yourself. You have.
Yes, I did, I know.
But to be fair, it is kind of out there to be ruined, you know? It's kind of asking for shenanigans.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of asking for it.
It's yeah.
I
You're
mean,
not
at
wrong.
least you made it funny, Ruin. So I'm sure I am positive about this without even ever touched a fanfic website. I'm sure there's way worse ruination on the internet, and I do not want to go anywhere near it. Ever.
I can
Ever.
assure you that there is.
But I mean, I hear stories from a fanfic reading friends, and I'm just like,
Hmm. Mm, mm.
nuh-uh.
No, we were actually talking about it on one of my lives that someone had seen a Fox and Harry fanfic. I don't remember the details because I'm really trying to forget it.
I don't
But
want to know the details. It's fine. I love Fox. I don't need Fox ruined for me. It's a pretty bird. It's a
Fox
cool
was a
bird.
shapeshifter. That's all I'm gonna say. You're welcome. And
Sigh.
that's not even the worst that's out there.
Yeah, see,
But
you
this
just
is our first episode. Let's not traumatize people even more than what we already do with our
look,
personalities.
people, we have a rubber duck. This is not our mascot. It just literally serves to infuriate poor Jennifer about Arthur Weasley.
Just to rile me up.
I swear to God, if I ever meet Mark Williams, I'm gonna get him to sign this duck.
Yeah, you should. You should.
I'm gonna get him to sign this duck, darn it.
I wonder how many people have actually brought a rubber duck to like conventions where he's at and having him sign them.
I wonder how many people have actually given him a rubber duck.
Yeah,
I think
true.
he may have gotten a lot of rubber ducks.
Yeah, probably.
But, you know, your hatred, I feel like your hatred of Arthur is not as great as your hatred of Hagrid.
Yes, but I don't have a list for that.
I feel like you don't need one.
Well, the thing is, I hate Hagrid for the same reasons that I hate Arthur Weasley. Not the details, obviously, but the overall consensus is that he's a moron, and I cannot stand morons. So
Yeah, but I do feel like that Hagrid, I mean, in his position as keeper of the grounds and keys, he's super efficient. I mean, he keeps all the threats of the Forbidden Forest into the Forbidden Forest.
mhm.
I mean, he has very good relations with the creatures in the Forbidden Forest, including the freaking acromantulas. You know, he gets on with this. He gets on with the centaurs and everything.
Mhm.
So I do feel like in that position, he's very competent. I mean,
Yes.
even when he teaches care of magical creatures, he does know the creatures really well. He's not very good at teaching about them, but I feel that in like when you get to the point where he's teaching them about the testrals, he actually knows what he's doing. The same with
Yeah.
the nifflers and stuff. So it does click after he starts talking to other teachers, like, give me pointers, help me out. He does realize how he should be teaching.
Yeah.
So, I
I'll give
mean,
him
there
that.
is some level of competence there. I mean, at least he knows his subject matter. He knows his job and he's competent at his job. I
Yes.
get less of that feeling with Arthur Weasley. I mean, I love Arthur Weasley. I think he's an amazing character, but I'm just like, when we're like talking job competence, I feel like Hagrid kind of wins.
He does, yeah. I'll give him that. He's competent. He's good at his job. He's maybe not as good as. I mean, he might not know how to safely teach the
Yeah,
students about some animals.
subject matter 10 out of 10. The actual, you know, teaching skills.
Yeah.
Then again, we have
Brilliant.
Snape, who also has no teaching skills. I mean, let's face it. I mean, he teaches through fear and intimidation. I mean, and at
And I
least
love that.
Hagrid is trying to be nice to the children. There's not one child that goes like, "Oh, Hagrid is needy," you know.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
They might be intimidated by the way Hagrid looks, but I mean, they won't be like scared of him because the way he teaches.
Yeah. But also, like, to be fair to Hagrid, I never thought I was gonna say this, but okay, to be fair to Hagrid, he's probably only had like 3 years of education.
Yeah, if that.
Max. Yeah, because I'm guessing he didn't go to any sort of like Muggle preschool, being like half giant.
No, I don't think his dad did a lot of effort into like. I mean, I think his dad just went like, "I will now teach you how to count to 100 and basic reading skills."
Yeah.
So, but I feel like that must be the case with so many wizard children, you know?
Mm. Yeah.
Because most of them, even the half-bloods, do not get to go to regular elementary school. They're home taught. And I feel like Molly Weasley, she had a really good job, you know? Because her kindred, I need kindred, which is Dutch. Her children are fully literate and
Yeah.
perfectly capable of having an education.
Yeah.
And in some cases even going and getting more educated, because like Bill is a curse breaker, I'm assuming he had to have a further, some kind of further training even on the job, but you know.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
Charlie works with dragons. I'm guessing that they don't teach you how to hands-on work with dragons in Hogwarts.
Unless he did something extra with Hagrid on the side.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
they
mean,
had like a little dragon business. I don't know.
but yeah, but you know what I mean, right? I mean, they are perfectly capable of being educated, and even if they're not school wise, they're she did teach them, like, because the Weasley twins are perfectly capable of starting up a business, so she
Mm.
must have taught them how to properly do arithmetic, mathematics, and stuff like that. So I feel like you could they are at least competent homeschoolers.
Yeah. Yes, they are. But Hagrid probably wasn't.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's not the only one, because I mean,
No.
same thing seems to be happening with Neville. He seems to be like very, oh my god, school, what do I do? You know.
Yeah.
So I feel like I mean, a lot of those kids are like kind of screwed, and I feel like that is why the Buggleborns seem to be doing so much better, because they have been to elementary school.
Mm.
They know
Yeah.
what tests are, they know what exams are, so they understand what this entire learning business is. And well, obviously the half-bloods who have been going to elementary school and stuff as well. But the others, like Ron, is like, you know, he knows how to do it, he just doesn't want to.
Yeah.
But several others are just like, eh. And Draco, of course, is like, my father will hear about this. I'm just like, dude, just do your homework.
What if Lucius is like a really, really loving father who actually sits and have these talks with Draco where he just rants about Potter and
Yeah, but there's
whatever? And he's like,
did you not
yes,
see that?
yes,
There's
yes,
actually
yes.
like a comic about it where he's like, he comes home and he's like, Dad, did you hear what Potter did now? And Lucy's like, no, tell me. Like super interested. Like genuinely caring, like tell me.
I want to believe that so much. I think he's lovely.
What headcanon you can.
Yeah, I can. But also I'm assuming canon. Because in the books, he's nice.
Yeah, the
'Cause,
thing is, I think in the books, he might just be a pureblood supremacist and a bit of a fascist.
yes, but that
And
aside,
the thing is, I think he has like two sides, like that public side where he's like super nasty to like everybody who isn't like a proper pure blood or whatever,
yeah,
or maybe like even he might. I mean, there's half bloods in the Death Eaters, so he might tolerate half bloods to a certain degree. But I think that at home he's probably a totally different guy. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the books aren't really getting into it that much, and we mostly see him in the movies. But I think that Lucius in the books might be a bit more like Jason Isaac, the
mm,
actor is like in real life, because they were like still saying it on the reunion, weren't they? Like how it was like he switched like that. Like when he was in character, he was like super nasty, and when he was out of character, he was like the nicest guy around.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, he also said in the reunion that he felt like his job was to make people understand why Draco was
Yeah,
so horrible to other people. So that's why he made Lucius this bullying,
yeah.
abusive
I think
father.
that for movies, it's exaggerating the character like that to put it across visually
Hmm.
is probably better than in the book, because in the book Draco will also, like, monkey see monkey do. It's the same thing with all children, even children that have like absolutely fascist right-wing parents that are super loving to them at home. They will be absolute assholes in, like, outside of the house, because they'll be like, oh no, I hate Hispanics and I hate people of color, you know, because that's what they see at home. So they figure that that is a good way to behave, even though the parents are perfectly nice and loving to them. So I think it's kind of the same thing. And if you read the books, especially as they progress, you can kind of like figure that out. But in the movie, you have to get something across in, like, what is it, an hour and a half?
Mm.
So I think that might be why they chose to do it that much different.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's just my guess. But yeah.
Probably. But in the book, in Chamber of Secrets, when Draco and Lucius are in, I think it's Borgin and Burke's.
Yeah.
They are, in the beginning of it. And I do believe Draco is saying something about, I think, Harry or Hermione, probably Harry. He just goes on about Potter, as he usually does. Yeah, and Lucy's like, oh, I know you've been talking about this all summer. And that's why I think that they are sitting at home, like in front of the fire. Draco is just going on about Potter. And
Potter dusters the house cup. I can imagine that the Slytherins are really livid about that one. Like, proper livid. And frankly, imagine just being in Slytherin house. Just a regular Slytherin, an unnamed Slytherin. For the Trekkies, the equivalent of the general red shirt. Not even the one that dies, but you're just you're a general clone trooper if you're into Star Wars, whatever. I'm going to stop doing these weird references. But you're just like a regular student. You're total nobody, total no name. You have your friends. Everything's fine. Just a regular student. You worked super hard all year, doing all your homework in time, answering questions in class to earn the few points you can earn, because you're not a jock, you're just an average student. You pass everything, but you're not Hermione Granger level. So you just do your best and you feel like you really contributed, and you're like, yay, we won. And then Dumbledore happens. Over to you about Dumbledore.
He's also on my shit list.
I feel like I'm really good at these segues, or whatever they're called.
No, but I do feel like what you just talked about, like those poor Slytherins.
Yeah,
those poor babies. They were just sitting there super excited, finally won. And then, like, why couldn't Dumbledore do that before they had, like, all of the flags and Slytherin colors, and the Slytherins were all excited? And then Dumbledore was like, by the way, fuck you all. I have some last-minute points just to make you lose.
I feel that was mean.
Yeah.
Salah, do you want to come in? Yeah, my cat is sitting there. He's like, come in. I'm like, do you want to come in? And now he's glaring at me. Salem is a total Slytherin cat, by the way. He wants access to his blankie, but his blankie is in the laundry. Whoa, that stink eye.
How dare you?
Well, he shed it all over it, so I kind of had to.
Yeah.
Full of cat hair. But yeah, no, I feel like that was such a dick move on Dumbledore. That was just...
Yeah. He should have done that before.
And also, like, did you see the new Fantastic Beasts trailer where he just goes, like, 3 points to Hufflepuff? I'm
3 points!
Yeah, but, for correct answers, it's usually, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. And if they're really generous, 10, it's somewhere between 1 and 10 points. So whatever. But I'm just like, what if it had been Lita? If Lita had still been alive, had he gone 3 points to Slytherin?
No, never.
So that's
Dumbledore would die before he gave Slytherin points.
See, that's my point. I was just like, would you have given him the points if he had been a Slytherin?
Mm-mm. Mm. He would not. But that is not the reason why I hate Dumbledore. Well, that it's one of the reasons,
It's
to be
a
honest.
contributing factor.
Contributing factor. Yes. Yeah. No, also I didn't make a list for this. So I'm just gonna
Can't
Yeah.
make lists for everything.
I can and I will.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, so I've been quite open with my hatred towards Dumbledore and Hagrid and Arthur Weasley, and my DMs have been flooded with people saying, "Why Arthur Weasley is the nicest person?"
Well, after today, you could just link him to this podcast and then
Yes.
just listen and
Full
never bother you
explanation.
again with the why question.
Yeah, and also Dumbledore. I feel like there are like 3 types of people, right? People who think Dumbledore is a nice old man, he's super kind,
Not
everybody loves him.
scheming, conniving,
Those exist.
schemer.
Those exist. They're in my DMs.
I mean, sure, I can see why, but
Yeah. But to be fair, I thought so too before like I grew up and read the books again. When I was younger, yes, Dumbledore was nice. Then I read the books again.
I mean, if you just like look at it and
Yeah.
you're not really, you're just consuming it as a entertaining medium and just don't think about it any further. Then sure, yeah, he's a nice
Yeah.
elderly grandfatherly figure.
Exactly, yes. So those people exist. And then we have the people who realize that he's a manipulative, insert words that I cannot say on air.
Well, you could, but we'd get in trouble.
Yes, exactly. But they don't hate him. They just see him for what he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just okay, Dumbledore. And then there are people like me who genuinely hate him.
Yeah, well, I'm in the middle category. I'm just like, I feel like he would have accomplished a lot more had he just been honest.
Yeah.
Same in Fantastic Beasts. Just be honest, my ex-boyfriend is a fascist twat. I did a dum-dum and I made an unbreakable vow in a necklace that we will never fight each other. And now we're screwed. And he's taking the breakup really hard and he's butthurt. And so we need to stop him and I need some assistance, please. I mean, like, sure, people will probably be like, but Aberforth would be like, yes, finally, sibling, you have done the right thing. I applaud. But yeah, I mean, like, sure, people would have frowned upon it. But I feel like, I mean, like, even in the times where, like, the Muggle world was still like, all the prude. I mean, Lita and Theseus were living together quite happily, unmarried. I mean, wizard fashions were not the mortal fashions. I'm just saying, wizards were, when it came to these things, they seemed to be a lot more open-minded. So I'm just like, somehow I feel like saying, hey, my boyfriend and I broke up and he's a complete fascist and he's gone off the rails and I need some help stopping him. I think people would be like, yeah, okay. That's fine, we'll help you. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see Theseus and Newt and Nicola saying like, nope, not our problem. I mean, I think they'd all be quite happy to just be like, yeah, sure, we'll help you.
Yeah.
That's at least what I mean, if you see these characters, they're obviously not like absolute dicks, you know? I personally don't even think that Newt Scamander cares what if somebody's gay or bisexual
understands
or
it.
whatever. He's just like, you're a person and either you're a dick or you're not a dick, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm just like, I think most of the wizarding world is just like that. Just like most people will judge somebody literally the way they are as a person and everything else does not matter to them. You know, they're like, okay, you are this or this or this, but we like you anyway because we like you and please tell us how we can accommodate you in, you know, to make life easier for you.
Yeah.
But, you know, so I'm just like, why always the secrecy and the plotting and the manipulations? Can you not just be honest?
Yeah, I don't think he's been honest about like anything ever.
Well,
He
maybe
always had
aside
a
from
plan.
the scar that looks like a map of the London Underground, he probably
But do
does.
we know that? Do we
Well,
have proof?
I'm sure Grindelwald would be able to confirm or deny if he even had that scar at that point in time.
Yeah, true. Maybe Grindelwald was the one who gave it to him. We don't know.
I mean, I'm sure somebody would be able to confirm or deny this thing, but
Yeah.
your camera's gone all scrambled.
My camera.
Your camera.
How?
I don't know.
I don't see any difference.
Okay, it's probably just my computer then. I poke. It's plugged in, so there's that. It's not gonna suddenly be like out of battery. But yeah, no, Dumbledore's machinations is just like, why? There's actually a series on the Carlin Brothers channel, and it's, what was it called? Dumbledore's Big Plan.
Mm-hmm.
Where they just basically, and I would recommend to everybody, where they basically try to pull apart and digest and sum up everything Dumbledore was doing to get Harry to do what he wanted to do, including setting in motion where he would meet the Weasleys and everything, and how important it would be that Harry meets the Weasleys because they're so different kind of pure blood and so engaging and welcoming, so he would not end in Slytherin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really
Wow.
good. And when you listen to it, or watch it and listen. I mean, you can listen, but yeah, you know what I mean. You're just like, it's always been quite coincidental why he would be at platform on his own, and then suddenly, poof, there are the Weasleys. Because I don't know whether it's Jay Carlin or Ben Carlin, but they make a very good point because they're saying like, I mean, Molly Weasley's been to Hogwarts.
Yeah.
She has had several children who have already graduated from Hogwarts. She has at that point 4 children going to Hogwarts. Why would she ask very loudly where the train is leaving?
She's also been to Hogwarts. Yeah, she's been to Hogwarts herself. And
Exactly.
does
So
she do
why
that
would
in
she
the
ask
books?
that within earshot of a soul boy but an owl? So Harry would beat the Weasleys.
I saw. I read like a headcanon that she was just wandering around like in Harry's like close. Yeah, and just where's the platform again? What is the platform? Just until he hears it.
Yeah, but if Dumbledore is really behind it, that actually makes sense.
So he confounded Molly.
Well, or he told Molly like, this is important. This boy does not have this. It does. I don't care what other house he ends up in, just not Slytherin, because there's so many Slytherins. I mean, Death Eater children in Slytherin, or going to end up in Slytherin, and many of the Death Eaters kind of see like Harry as the second coming, as like the new Dark Lord. So he doesn't want him to be in Slytherin, where he could be influenced to become the new Dark Lord.
Yeah.
And I was like, that actually made sense.
Yeah.
So, been plotting from day one.
He has. And one of the things that makes me genuinely hate him is the theory that he wanted Sirius Black to be in Azkaban because it made it made his plan for Harry a lot easier. So I'm not sure if he knew that Sirius Black was innocent because they changed the plan last second, right? But he could have very, very easily have figured it out just by going to Azkaban. He can read minds. He can figure it out. Like if anyone can, it's him.
And not just that. I mean, how well was that scene investigated? I need to cough. So how well was that scene investigated? You know, I mean, because ministry competence is dubious at best. Let's be real here. Ministry competence is dubious at best. So how well was everything investigated? And there's just a lot of questions that I feel like, even if you like read Prisoner and you hear people's stories about what happened as witnesses and whatnot, and you just go like, surely if he really was guilty, he would have disapparated instantly. I mean,
Yeah.
if I just blew up a street, I wouldn't stand around and laugh like a maniac.
No.
I have no intentions to blow up anything, for the
For
record.
legal reasons.
But I mean, if I did, I would not stand around. So I'm just saying, like,
Yeah. And also, he didn't even get a trial. And Dumbledore could have easily, because he was like working with the ministry
he
at the
could
time,
so.
he could have provided a trial because he knew Sirius. He was in the order. He knew
Yeah, I mean, I
about
think
him.
I think he really he was aware that there. I mean, also, do you really believe that he did not know that the Marauders were Animagi?
No, he
I
knew.
I don't believe that they didn't know.
He must have known.
I mean,
McGonagall
they
must have
must
known.
have. I mean, from everything we know about the Marauders, they were not subtle.
They Dumbledore for sure must have known.
Also, not for a single second do I believe that there were no security measures on the Shrieking Shack that would alert Dumbledore or whomever was teaching at the school and responsible for Remus Lupin at that time the second he left that shack.
Yeah.
I mean, not for a second do I believe that they put a werewolf in there and just assume he can't get out.
Yeah.
That is just dumb. That's just hella dumb. Because
that's Arthur Weasley dumb.
That is just no. I mean, no. You will have security measures in place that at the very least alert you of an escape.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, fine, it is Hogwarts, but still. They have all these security measures in place, like you can't apparate and separate on the grounds unless you use a phoenix, but that aside. I mean, it's not like there's so many of those lying about. I mean,
yeah.
I'm just like, no.
Yeah,
no.
for sure. And also, yeah, so Dumbledore probably knew that they were animagus. He knew that Sirius was innocent, or he could have easily found out, but he wanted Harry to go to the Dursleys because he wanted to keep Harry not only safe, but also like bullied and abused. Because
well, I'm
that
not
would
sure
make
if
him
he
easily
wanted Harry to be miserable, but he wanted him to be at least safe. But surely he should have known how bad it would be.
He knew. He for sure he knew.
He should have. I mean, like, McGonagall warned him. That's my R2D2. He's gone to bed. I've got a Tamagotchi.
Okay.
Like, okay, interlude, but how cool would it be to have, like, a Harry Potter Tamagotchi, so where you could raise a magical creature, like a phoenix, or a hippogriff, or an owl? You know, like the OG Tamagotchi, where you breed them from an egg, and you just get one, and you don't know what you're gonna get?
Yeah.
Get on it,
the
Tamagotchi.
90s kids will
Get
understand.
on it. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't understand why you would put a child in that kind of situation.
Because
what I also don't understand is what I mean. Surely, because my best friend lives in the UK, right? And her mum used to work in a daycare, and there was such rigid, as there should be, and it's the same in Belgium. There is such rigid. I'm not saying control, but supervision of these children, like, so they would notice if there is a potential abuse situation, you know? The same with, like, any competent daycare, any competent kindergartens, you know? Teachers and caregivers are trained to watch for signals. So I'm just like, either the school he went to was a special kind of incompetent and just horrible, or there was magical intervention to make sure that there was never any social services involved.
Yeah.
Because there's this child showing up, looking, broken glasses, amended with sellotape, duct taped together, unruly hair, often dirty, clearly far too skinny for his age, clearly malnourished, in clothing that he has to hold together so it doesn't fall down his legs with rope. I mean, really?
Yeah, something's off.
Something is clearly off, especially when you consider that the other child in that household is always in the newest fads, the newest fashions, clean clothes, clearly well fed.
Yeah.
There is a problem. You should notice that as a teacher, as a principal. Maybe not a principal, depending on how many children there are in the school. But you will notice this. Why did you not get social services involved?
Yeah.
So clearly, either there is a massive case of incompetence and pure flat out negligence, or somebody got involved and used obliviation charms.
Yeah, that is also a possibility. But I do believe that Dumbledore wanted Harry to be, I'm not gonna say abused, but like he wanted him to be in a fragile state of mind so that he was easier to manipulate,
Yeah,
to form for his purposes.
yeah. I mean, even if he just wants to put him with his Muggle family to make sure he didn't get too big for his britches in the wizarding world or whatever, he knew the Dursleys wouldn't be a good choice,
Yeah, yeah. But then he could have just like kept Sirius out of Azkaban, had him.
Yeah, I mean, I was just about to say, I'm pretty sure that Sirius Black would be perfectly capable of raising that child to be a decent human being.
And that's the problem because he
Probably
didn't
a
want
very
him to be.
irresponsible human being, but Harry is an irresponsible human being as is. So, I mean,
Yeah, but had he grown up with Sirius, he wouldn't have been so easy to
yeah, and
manipulate.
Remus would have been in the picture as well. So
Yeah.
he would probably be the voice of reason. And then your Wolfstar dreams would have come true.
I know.
Big
I know.
heart. Big heart. Can we make like heart hands on the screen? Ah, we can. I mean, I will say I don't go actively looking for them, but I often see Wolfstar headcanons flash by on the Instagram, and most of them are very wholesome and
I know.
So I'm kind of like I'm here for the Wolfstar because they're so wholesome and heartwarming and just nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not an
I
actual Wolfstar shipper, but I'm here for the wholesome headcanons that make you smile,
Yeah.
So I'm just like, yeah, I get it. I don't understand.
Yeah.
And most
They
of them are
didn't have
just
a chance.
hilarious, like proper hilarious.
If those two were together.
Funny.
Yes.
I was like, okay, I mean, I'm here for it. Write more, please, because this is so funny.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, and and the Weasley twins and their marauders map and their complete inability to detect Voldemort and Peter Pettigrew, which is, I mean, I heard people say like Death Eaters have managed to become unplottable, as in their presence, but bullcrap because Snape still shows up on the map.
Yeah.
Also, what's his face? Fake Moody.
Barty Crouch.
Yeah, Barty Crouch Jr. shows up on the map, and he's a proper Death Eater. I mean, Snape is arguably debatable, but that guy, not debatable at all. So I'm just like, Yeah. And didn't they use the map to see where the Death Eaters were in the counteroffensive when Harry went out of school with Dumbledore in
Half-Blood Prince?
Half-Blood Prince.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I mean, it could have been that they just literally only used the map when they were leaving to and from the school, or just as a check it as a quickly when coming in and going out, and didn't actually pay attention to any area outside the one they were in.
Yeah.
Which is an explanation, which is fair.
Yeah.
But I can't see them just like sit there and studying the map for shits and giggles. I can totally see them just because that's what I would do. I mean, I would never notice because I'd just be like, okay, is anybody in this corridor? I'm going in now. No, great, excellent.
I would study it. I would be like, okay, where's this person I know? Where's this person? Oh,
Yeah,
there's my
yeah,
brother sleeping with a man. Okay, well, that's fine.
yeah.
You do
I would be
you.
like, what the fuck is going on here? Go in that dorm, going like, wait a minute, scabbers. you know,
Yeah, yeah,
I would be like, I would just go in and be like, okay, Ron, scabbers. Mm-hmm. Professor McGonagall, I can't explain how, but I'm pretty sure my brother's rat's animagus. Please just go with me. It's really important that you retransform this into a human being and prove me wrong. I will explain everything if I turn out to be right. I swear to God. And McGonagall will probably do it just because, and there might actually be a security breach. You know?
yeah.
She'll probably be like, if I'm being punked, I will punish you so hard, but just in case there actually is a security breach, I'm gonna go do this. Of course, we all know that obviously they didn't notice because the book had to progress and plot, but
Yeah.
st-
Still,
still.
it's upsetting. Okay.
That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, like, not being able to just say like, okay, this is for the good of the plot, and just have to go like, no, the logic.
I know. I know.
We would be such bad writers.
Yes.
The story would be ending before it properly begins because
Yeah.
we would apply logic and competence and be like, yeah, we have no story.
No.
None whatsoever, no story. Nope, zilch.
Okay. So to summarize, Arthur Weasley is a moron.
Arthur Weasley is completely and utterly incompetent at his hobby and job.
Yes. Thank you. Hagrid
Isn't just a
is
dumbass, but
a
competent at
dumbass.
his job and a decent human being. Like
Yes.
Arthur.
And he has kind of a reason as well. He's
Yeah, I mean,
almost off the hook for being incompetent. Like he only had 3 years ish of school, so
yeah, I mean, he tries his best. I mean, Hagrid at
yeah,
least tries.
we'll
But
give
I
him
feel
that.
like he's much more competent in the books than he is in the movies.
Yeah, yeah. And Dumbledore is
He has no excuse.
no excuse whatsoever. He
None.
uses people as pawns.
But I don't
The
even
greater good.
understand why he came to be that way. I mean, it's just like Dumbledore. What the fuck, man? I mean,
Yeah, because he
I'm
wants
just like,
the
why?
power.
Why are you this way? Because like Arthur is, I mean, clearly comes from wizards and muggles are separated. He's a pure blood, so I mean, I can understand that he has like zero clue whatsoever. And he's just doing the best with the information he can get his hands on. Hagrid, like you said, limited education. So I mean, he is competent at his job, and he's a decent human. So you're like, I mean, he's also clearly willing to learn and improve.
Is he though?
Yeah, because he does really take it to heart what other teachers say and do, and he does learn by example because he does really figure out what Professor Grubby Plank was doing, and he did improve from that knowledge.
Okay.
I mean, his classes do get better because he really does start to properly make that thing for the Nifflers, so the students can learn how to work with Nifflers and learn about Nifflers. And he does teach them about Testrals, and he does like, I mean, until Umbridge came and ruined it all, he was doing a good job.
Yeah.
So I mean, clearly he did learn from his past mistakes and did improve as a teacher. So I mean, he does try.
Okay, fine. I'll give him that. He does try.
Dumbledore is just
Yeah. It's just
No.
a dick from day one till he dies.
Remus Lupin. You are not. Because I feel like Lupin is like the one truly good teacher in Hogwarts.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, McGonagall is
Yeah,
just strict
McGonagall.
and fair, and I mean, there's so Flitwick, half the time he's not even paying attention what his students are doing, because the amount of times they're like getting up to whatever during charms, and the same with like Slughorn's potions is also like, what the fuck are you even doing with these kids, man?
Yeah, and Bins.
Bins, but Bins is dead, you know. I mean, Bins literally sits there and groans. So I mean, he knows not a single name of any student. So there's that.
No.
But yeah, I mean, of course, there's like lots of teachers we never hear about in the books. I mean, oh, and Trelawney. Let's not get started about Trelawney. I mean, Trelawney is a really cool character in itself, but she's also like so tragic. She's a raging alcoholic, which Dumbledore must be aware of because
He
everybody
knows.
can smell the drink on her.
Yeah, he knows. But I mean, she's only there because he's protecting her.
Yeah, but he can put her on non-active and make sure that she gets treatment. I mean, Madame Pomfrey is very competent.
Yeah.
I'm sure she could help her, and she generally cares about her colleagues as well. So he could do more for her rather than let her sit and wallow in her misery because she's super depressed to the point where she just sits there. Because I'm pretty sure that under normal circumstances, well, no, I'm not sure under normal circumstances because she has that mean streak to her. So I'm not entirely sure that under normal circumstances she wouldn't be completely racist. But now the comments that she's like publicly making about Firenze, I'm just like, this is not okay. This is legit not okay. The same with Snape. He allows a teacher to actively bully and terrorize the students. He knows that this is going on.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why do you allow this to happen?
It builds character.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It really doesn't. It's like, it just causes PTSD and trauma and more incompetent wizards into the world, you know?
Yeah. But does Dumbledore care? No.
And also, like, what do they actually learn at Hogwarts other than, like, magic? What about the children who finish Hogwarts and want to return to the Muggle world? What are they going to do, you know?
They can't.
They can't. I mean, like, they have, like, zero actual education. What are they going to do? They can't go to university because they don't have a high school degree to actually get into a university. So I really wonder, like, there's no fallback, is there? Like, because like, if you in the Muggle world, if you go to like a sports school and etc., or a dance school or an art school, you still get all the subjects you need. If you don't make it in that particular field, you can still go to university. You can still get a job. So I'm just like, why are there no fallback classes in Hogwarts?
Yeah. It's magic or nothing.
Surely there should be, because I can imagine that lots of children, like we discussed before, are barely literate.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, why are there no classes for like reading comprehension and stuff, you know?
They're just assumed to be able to read and understand basic stuff when they come to Hogwarts, because obviously they have books. They have exams.
But I mean, like, look at Crabbe and Goyle.
I didn't know.
Those are like, I mean, we'll never know, are they legit dumb or are they just like uneducated? We'll never know, but I'm guessing uneducated because one of the two does summon Fiend Fire, which is a super advanced spell, so it can't be actually stupid.
Yeah, but they are also part of the Sacred 28, so they are obviously like super purebloods. They should have had like the same upbringing as Draco, probably, with like probably learning many different languages and having a special tutor.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that most of them are so inbred. Their sister is probably their mother. I mean, like, what was it? But there's a brilliant quote in the first Secret Histories books by Simon R. Green. If she was any more inbred, she'd be her own sister. I mean, I'm starting to think that with a lot of the purebreds, that actually is what's happening.
Yeah, because I believe that Sirius's mom married her cousin.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
there's all
Just to
sorts
keep
of
the
shenanigans going on. I mean, like the Gaunt family. I mean, let's not open that can of worms, because But yeah,
Yeah.
what I never understood was, why don't they marry families from abroad?
Yeah, other purebloods. Because there's gotta be a lot of them.
I mean, there's gonna be purebloods all over the world. Why didn't you just like marry somebody from a totally different country? I mean, I feel like there's a lot of education lacking in pure-blooded wizarding circles. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just my impression.
I still want to like picture Draco being like super educated and having like piano lessons.
Oh,
They
he
have
probably has.
organ at the Malfoy Manor, and
But that is probably the case. I can imagine that being the case. I mean, I think it would be.
Yeah.
Because they seem to be that kind of noble family. I mean, they live in a manor with white peacocks. Yeah, I mean, like, who has that?
That they brought to the Quidditch World Cup. Because remember, there were Harry stated that he saw white peacocks at the Quidditch World Cup, and then suddenly in book number 7, where do they go? Malfoy Manor. What do they have? White peacocks.
Yeah. Now you should mention it. That's probably their tent.
Yes.
But
how extra are you to bring peacocks to a Quidditch
But you
game?
can get peacocks like really proper tame.
No, I want Malfoy peacocks.
Obviously. A manor and Malfoy peacocks.
Yes.
Preferably Malfoy Manor, but that might be a little bit unattainable.
Yeah.
But it is a real building, isn't it, where they filmed that?
Yes, it's based on a real building that you can go to, yeah.
I mean, so clearly you just have to win the lottery, super, super big, be rich as the sea is deep, and buy the damn thing.
Yes.
And then convince Andreas to move to the UK.
No. Convince Tom Felton to marry me and move into Malfoy Manor.
Okay, people who are listening to this are going to be like, what? And be like, what is this crazy fandom thing going on?
For legal reasons, that was a joke.
For legal reasons, we are not creepy stalkers. I can honestly say that I have ever only met actors at actual meet and greet events. Interviews in the Quibbler Cat, by the way.
Advertisement.
It's this is an honestly innocent, completely dorky fandom podcast. We do vibe Wolfstar.
That is a cute mug. I only have this one. The H&M one. Again, representing Sweden.
Yeah, I have the what is it? There's a black one, and I think that's the Hogwarts Apothecary one. I have that one. And my friend Claire has a Ravenclaw one, and it was such a hassle to find it for her. Oh my god. Because apparently, I do see the Gryffindor one in stores quite regularly.
Yeah.
But I don't see any of the other houses, so I fear I may be completely wrong. Might be that those stores have just stocked way more Gryffindor and are just still getting rid of the stock. But I fear like Half Moon Bay may literally at this point be making Gryffindor ones.
But I think that's the case with like all merch. It's mostly Gryffindor. You do find some Slytherin, and then are there even 2 more houses?
I feel like our next edition we should rant about merch.
Yeah, merch and the inequality of houses.
Yeah. No, we should. And like to our viewers, I feel like if you have anything to say or want us to discuss something about Harry Potter merch, any Harry Potter merch IDs, if you agree with my Tamagotchi thing, please leave it in the comments down below. I feel like we should do a petition because I would love a Tamagotchi Phoenix. But that aside, no, seriously, if you have anything that you feel we should discuss about merch, comment section.
Yeah.
Comment. But
I
if
do
you
forget that you're a Gryffindor.
please be kind.
Please be kind, yes. I do forget that you're a Gryffindor at times.
I am a Gryffindor. What did you
Yeah, I
think
do
I was?
forget. I don't know why I think you're a Slytherin.
You're actually the first person that mistakes me for a Slytherin, because usually I get mistaken for a Hufflepuff or a Ravenclaw, but mostly a Hufflepuff. Because
Yeah,
of
I'm not
all the
saying
brown
that-
and oranges I wear, because people are like, oh, that brown, that must be a Hufflepuff. And I'm just like, no, I'm just, my vibe is just steampunk, Halloween, otomeki, so yeah. Not that.
You don't have the Slytherin vibe. I'm gonna say that. That's not the reason. No, I'm just assuming you're a Slytherin because most of the people I talk to are Slytherins. Yeah, and surprisingly, you're very cool for a Gryffindor. So,
why? Thank you. No, I am not Gryffindor that doesn't care what house you're in. As long as you're a nice person, it's all fine by me. I will literally judge people by their personality and nothing else.
same.
As it should be. And I feel that Hogwarts should actually encourage that rather than give people a deadly weapon and teach them how to use it and just let them loose where they're dueling each other in the corridors at night.
Yeah. True. Also true.
I mean, then again, one of their founders did go off the rails and built a death chamber in a girl's bathroom, but that aside. That's a whole different topic about.
I feel like somebody should have sat that man down and not Godric Gryffindor, because I, as a Gryffindor, blame Godric for this one. I mean, no, seriously, Godric Gryffindor solved his arguments with a sword. I mean, is this the right person to sit somebody down and talk to them about why their pure blood views might not be the best for a school? No, where were Helga and Rowena to go like, look, Salazar, we get your point. We really, truly understand. But can we just, as adults? No. Helga was like, I'm taking all the rest. And Rowena was like, oh, you look at my smart students. And Gryffindor was like, I have a sword. Let's duel it out, Salazar. And Salazar just was like, yeah, bye-bye. Can you blame him? I mean, he probably didn't even mean to, leave that basilisk there. He just got, Gryffindor. He just forgot it.
I mean, twist and turn it all the way you please, but they used to be, besties, and then they weren't, and Gryffindor, honorable as he may have been, solved his issues with a dang sword. I have that sword. I love that sword. Don't get me wrong. Also here, to completely admit to it, that my founder house was probably founded by somebody who was more impulsive than was good for him.
Yeah, like all of Gryffindor house.
Yeah, I'm just like, let's be real. Let's just put a lot of that blame at Godric's feet, because I'm sure he had something to do with it. I mean, the wizard, all wizards want to be. Merlin was a Slytherin.
And we're very proud of him.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not here for the Slytherin hate. I'm not here for any house hate.
But we are a Slytherin and a Gryffindor getting along, doing a podcast.
Look
at us. How scandalous.
Podcasting together. I mean, and having other multiple offline shenanigans. Well, online shenanigans, but of podcasts.
Yeah.
Where we discuss more Harry Potter stuff and plot more podcasts. So basically, we're not doing many different things on this.
But I feel like we've covered a lot.
Yeah. I mean, the people who have stuck with us till the end, till now, are seriously top much, you guys. I mean, we applaud you for your tenacity.
Yeah. And aren't you impressed that I haven't said, I was going to say anything, but very, very little inappropriate stuff.
Oh, you haven't said any inappropriate stuff. You
I
have
know.
referred
proud
to
of myself.
inappropriate things that are out there on the interwebs. But let's be real. I mean, like, everybody who has any kind of presence on the web is aware of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The fanfic, etc., we do not talk about because we are not that kind of podcast. At least
No.
I don't want to.
No, I suggested this podcast to be named Mind If I Slither In, but it
And
was
I vetoed.
mm,
And then
I
we
wasn't
went for
allowed.
Wired Sisters because, as you can see,
Yeah.
we're always hype.
It would attract the wrong people, she said.
Am I right or am I right?
I am convinced that just by having me in this podcast, it's gonna attract the wrong people. My people.
But they're not the wrong people. The wrong people
Are you
like
sure?
the kind of creepy people that sent Tom Felton like all the paperwork to disavow his parents and that wanted him to change his name to Draco Malfoy and live in Malfoy Manor. That's the
God.
kind of wrong people I don't want
That-
to attract. Your kind of people are fine. Clearly, you're here.
Yeah, you have
More
not
of you,
seen my
fine,
DMs.
yes, welcome. And I mean, I'm just saying. I mean,
Yeah.
I welcome all fans, but I would prefer that people people realize that this is fiction and we're talking about fiction and we're geeking about fiction. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, I mean, it's a big part of our lives. It brings us joy. We've already disavowed J.K. Rowling. There's no doubt about it. Anybody who even vaguely knows us knows that we do not support J.K. Rowling. We do not in the slightest stand with her idiotic views. I mean, like, what the hell, woman? But you know, I would prefer the turfs to stay at home and not listen.
Yeah.
Just going to say it the way it is, and please don't bring hate to the comments because I will mercilessly block anyone who does from this channel.
Yeah.
I might actually put the comments on review, to be honest.
I think that's that's
Probably a sane thing to do.
Yeah.
After what I've just been saying, that's probably the same thing to do. But then again, I feel like that most people who will come here to listen are people that follow us on Instagram and are getting exactly what they were expecting.
Yes. Yeah. I'm just gonna be a little bit more inappropriate, and then they will get exactly what they came for. Next time, I promise.
Yeah, but okay. I'll just say it the way it is. This is going up on my YouTube channel because I already had one.
I apologize in advance.
I do not want to get thrown off YouTube.
I cannot promise that. I can't.
Probably should end here before this really gets off the rails ridiculous.
Yes.
So
definitely.
tune in next time in about 2 weeks.
Hopefully I will have my Malfoy.
Hopefully you will have your Malfoy for us
We'll see.
to admire. That would be cool. Yeah. But yeah, in about 2 weeks we shall do episode 2 in which we discuss the merge. More than just Mamug. And we will for sure discuss the Malfoy if he has arrived. If he has not, we will discuss him in another episode.
Yes.
To be continued.
Be continued. Yes. Okay.
To be continued. Like we said before, please don't leave hate in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you for sure know when the next episode is on. Although I am pretty certain that you will realize because we will probably plaster it all over our Instagram. I will link our Instagram in the description box below so you can go and follow us. I will also link to Jennifer's TikTok, which is full of amazement, and you should definitely check out her reels because she's the funniest person ever.
Thank you.
It is true. So I will link everything down below that you should know, and we're going to go now. Bye!
Bye.